I gotta tell you, to me, that was the biggest loss of the season. And it is concerning. I think this loss is a bit concerning for the way the season's going to go. Either way, I think this is a core that's going to be bound for success. One regular season loss doesn't change my thoughts at all. I'm not screaming this is the end of the world, but I always said going into the season when it became quite apparent that it was going to be between Dallas and Nashville for that fourth seed in our division, that I would rather play Nashville over Dallas. So that's a positive. But when the situation came out that they were going to have to play us twice, I said Carolina needs to beat them twice because a Nashville that is coming in with confidence against us versus a Dallas that doesn't because we did better against Dallas than uh, throughout the regular season, that's more dangerous. So I was like, Carolina needs to win these next two games and shut them down and make sure that a team doesn't think they can beat us before going into the playoffs. Because if you believe you can do something, that goes a long way. I mean, look at the '06 Carolina Hurricanes. They were the heavy underdog against Detroit. Not Detroit. What? Detroit was in the Western Conference. Against Boston, and they were the heavy underdog against New Jersey, and they beat them twice in solid 7 game series because they believed they could do something. And the fact that Nashville is a good team when they're the underdog. Look at their 2017 run where they beat Pittsburgh for the Stanley Cup. I will not change my opinion that that is what happened because I hate Pittsburgh, but that was a Cinderella story team run with a core that has experience with that, and so you don't want to go playing against a team that thinks they can beat you. Now, if you swap this one win tonight against one of the five others, it's not as big of a deal, but you can't swap those wins, and that's why I'm concerned. And the other situation is Carolina's power play has gotten wildly cold in the past 2 games. They need to turn that around, especially when you consider how good our power play was, and that was why we won a lot of games, was because teams couldn't take penalties against us, and now it's looking more and more like they're starting to be able to. So I don't know if we got to adjust the power play, move the players around, change our scheme up a little bit, but we got to work on the power play because that's been a very important part for us in winning our division, and it's going to continue to be in the playoffs if we want to do something in the playoffs, which this is the year. I don't think Carolina is cup or bust this year, but this is the year you want to see this core do something again. With their young team, they're aging, they got contracts coming up. This is a big year for this core, in my opinion, where you want to see them at least win a round, probably two. And that's why this win is concerning, because this win gets in the way of that more than anything else. I think this is the biggest loss. Jacob Slavin is, like the commentator said, this is most likely just a precaution. However, it is very scary that a player as important defensively to us is injured, maybe just for the game. Maybe it's just, hey, we won the division. We want to make sure our star players are okay. That's valid, but if it's not, then whoa. But the power play slowed down. They were able to get hemmed in by a team they dominated against more. I don't know if they were lack of motivation in this game, but that can kill you. I remember, I'm going to go back to my own hockey experience. When I played youth hockey, these two losses still sting to me, but we had a chance to knock out the second best team in our league because they had struggled at the beginning of the tournament, and then we probably would have went on to win the whole tournament and go to nationals, and we failed to beat them in the round robin game, and we were like, all right, look, even if we lose this game, we're guaranteed a spot in the final. Let's make sure we win the final. And then we lost in the final as well, and that loss still stings. That's the best, probably top to bottom, the best team I've ever been a part of in my youth hockey career. And yeah, like that, and that's kind of what this situation is similar to, where you're the favorite, you've beaten this team throughout the season, and then when their back is against the wall, but yours isn't necessarily, they can ride that wave. And look at Tampa Bay when they won the Presidents that year. They came in, they didn't play any games that mattered, and once they started playing games that mattered, luckily Carolina's been playing games that mattered from the beginning of this all season because how tight the race has been, the fact that you're playing the same teams, the fact that it's a shortened schedule, so the games just matter more consistently. that's kind of proven to that was very similar situation because the past 3 games haven't technically mattered, but I want that President's Trophy. That's the thing. Like, granted, someone pointed out it is their first regulation loss since early April. So, we were due for one, I guess. You want to get it out in the way in the playoffs. And yeah, but the issue is this is the other concerning issue. In the past 2 games, Carolina has only scored 2 goals. And ever since Svechnikov had that night where he got 2 goals and everything and we were on fire, we've been stone cold. Steve Austin, except not in a good situation. But, as much as you can say, we were getting chances both games. But, as much as I think the puck not bouncing your way is a good excuse for 1 game. 2 games in a row, it starts to be, hey, we need to start getting goals in games. And, you don't want to be cold going into the playoffs either. That's what concerns me. If they lose next game, we're a cold team heading into the playoffs. You don't want that. You don't want to be cold. I think, luckily we're playing a team that I think we can, if we turn it on against them, we'll win the series. But you don't want to put it in a position where you're cold and you're not turning it on and you have to find that crux. You got to find the ability to turn it on, because even if we win round 1 and we still haven't necessarily turned on the Jets and are playing the best we can, when we come against Tampa or Florida, we're not winning that series. So, the effort wasn't always there. I would say there were still players working hard. One of them I'll give Hurricane of the game in a bit. Nedeljkovic, I thought, played good, but the effort wasn't always there this game, and you don't want to get outworked. And I think getting outworked by a team that we're better up and down is always an unacceptable loss. This close to the playoffs, it's even worse. So, I'll give Hurricane of the game to Jordan Staal. I think in the way that Jordan Staal, even in a game where a lot of Carolina players didn't seem to be working that hard, I don't think Aho played to his best abilities. Svechnikov didn't. Teravainen didn't. The fourth line did, I'll give him that. But Jordan Staal I saw doing the most, except for Geekie. Geekie I haven't been giving a lot of credit. Geekie's proven himself once again to be an NHLer. I think if our team wasn't as deep on a lot of other teams, Geekie's automatically on the roster. So I think Jordan Geekie being a fringe player is on just how deep our team has been. So good news is, even in this loss, I'm still complimenting the team. But yeah, Jordan Staal for me was Hurricane of the game because he was the one player that was consistently working hard and doing things on the ice for me. Hakanpää, I want to give a shout out to Hakanpää as well. Hakanpää did a lot of good things this game. But yeah, they gotta come in tomorrow and be ready to play, because not tomorrow. When's their next game? I'm gonna also do the President's Trophy watch here in a second as well. But when they play Nashville, I don't know if it's Saturday or not, but Monday. So when they play Nashville Monday night, they got to play a lot better, in my opinion. They got to come out strong. You don't want to go into the playoffs cold. But okay, so President's Trophy watch. We're now in second. There's 2 teams ahead of us. Colorado can still catch Vegas, so by association, Colorado can still catch us. Pittsburgh, no, yeah, it's just Colorado, Carolina, and Vegas. So, of course, it would be Vegas that would beat us for it. So, you got to come out strong. You got to win the next game and hope Vegas loses if we want the President's Trophy now. So, that was the biggest loss of the game. I'll see you Monday. If you guys like the content I'm producing on the channel, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you guys want to get alerted whenever I upload videos, especially come playoffs, that'll be an exciting time no matter what. Hit the bell. And if you guys want to help build a community of Canes fans, share the video to your friends, and that's my goal here. It's not to make money. It's not to, become a huge YouTuber or anything. It's just to build a fun community of hockey fans, or specifically Canes fans. But if you're not a Canes fan, come on board. And is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Like, subscribe, share, bell. God, YouTube with their freaking things. But yeah, I'll see you guys Monday for hopefully a better game and a more cheery video, depending on how things go. And I'll see you guys for the playoffs versus the Predators.